What's going on, everyone? Scott here. Welcome back to the channel. So, Michigan State basketball gets the big-time road victory against Illinois, 79-65 on Saturday night, moving their season record to 20-5, 11-3 in the conference, and staying alive in the Big Ten regular season title chase. Now, this is a game that, like a handful of games for Michigan State this year, go back last week against Oregon and, handful of other games throughout the season where it didn't look good for Michigan State in the first half, where the first 10, 15 minutes of the game, it was all Illinois. They were, making tough shots. They were making threes. They were doing all the right things that you need to do to beat Michigan State. And then to close the half, made it a 4-point game at halftime, 37-41, and then just completely flipped the script in the second half, 42-24 Michigan State in the second half. I don't think Illinois scored. I think they actually had 2 points taken off of the board in the last 7 minutes of the game. Just an incredible second half defensive performance from Michigan State. And this is, I think, we'll get more into it here, but I think this is what the best version of Michigan State looks like. If they're going to continue this success throughout the last 3 or so weeks of the regular season and into the Big Ten tournament and NCAA tournament, I think this is kind of the formula for Michigan State to make some noise. I mean, you're not going to have this every day. I think Michigan State closed the game on a 64-35 run or something like that. I don't have the number in front of me, but it was just an insane run. And obviously, we said held them Illinois scoreless the last, I think, 7 minutes of the game, something like that. I'll probably look this up before the end of the video, but just a really, really impressive game. And then obviously Tom Izzo breaking Bob Knight's all-time Big Ten win record, getting number 354. Just an incredible night all around, especially after Illinois and all their fans, coaches, players, really the whole lot for Illinois was complaining for weeks after. They were still complaining about a month out from that game last month at the Breslin Center about the foul calls and Kasparis fouling out. And Michigan State still walked into their arena on Terrence Shannon jersey retirement night and got the win. So we're going to jump into the preview for this one. But before we do, if you could just hit that like and subscribe button down there. More Michigan State basketball content on the channel, so make sure you subscribe so you don't miss a video. Now, I have to start out with Illinois. Morez Johnson Jr., man, he was killing Michigan State throughout this game. He finished with 17 and 5 boards on this one, 6 for 8 overall from the field. Kasparis, he did foul out in this one, and he had a pretty solid game. For him, 17 points, 5 rebounds overall, 2 for 9 from 3. Michigan State did a really good job, 3-point defense overall. Illinois was missing a lot of shots. Held Tomislav Ivisic in check, only 4 points overall, 0 for 4 from 3. I think the last time out against Michigan State, he was 1 for 9 from 3. So keeping him inefficient from the 3-point line as well. Kylan Boswell playing 29 minutes, didn't score a basket. Off the bench, Will Riley, who had a really good game against Michigan State last time. I think he had about 16 in the first half, finished with 19 in that one. He had 13 in this one, 6 assists, 7 rebounds. Jake Davis for them came in off the bench, hit 2 big threes in the beginning parts of the game when Illinois was making their run to build up there. I think it was up to a 16, 17-point lead. Yeah, I think it was a 16-point lead at one point in the first half. But overall, Michigan State was able to hold them in check. A couple numbers to really look at here. Very impressive from Michigan State's defense, holding Illinois from the field overall 38%, holding them 21% from 3, 7 for 33. 7 for 33 is absolutely insane. 10 for 13 overall from the free throw line for them for about 77%. But Illinois, one of the best rebounding teams in the country. Michigan State able to hold them to 36 rebounds on the night and actually out-rebounding them. So we'll lead that into the Michigan State discussion here. For Michigan State, Jeremy Fears at times, I mean, he was 2 for 8 from the field, and he did have 4 turnovers overall. And, they were sagging so far off of him, Cohen Carr, And, just because their numbers don't say that they're going to consistently knock down those shots. But Jeremy Fears, as he's done in his good games this year, found ways to make plays for his teammates. I'm not saying this isn't by far anywhere close to one of his better games, but still finishing 4 points, 5 assists, and 4 rebounds, a steal and a block as well. I'll take this game from Jeremy Fears because he made big plays during Michigan State's stretch run to get that lead, the lead for the rest of the game. And in the second half, I thought he, made some solid plays. Trey Holloman, still coming off the bench now with Jace Richardson moving into that starting lineup, but he was solid in 26 minutes for them. Had some big shots, 14 points on the night, 3 assists, 2 rebounds. Shot the most shots, second most shots besides Jackson Kohler, which we definitely will get to him. But he was 6 for 12 overall from the field. Cohen Carr, really good night as well. As we said, they were leaving him open in that corner, the wing threes, and he was doing such a good job driving to the basket. He did shoot 1 3, missed it, and that's what we want to see. You know that they're going to leave you open. Take your 1 3. If you hit it, you take advantage of them, slacking off of you. Take advantage, you hit it, cool. But if not, don't keep chucking it up. And we've seen Cohen Carr not do that. I think the most threes he's taken in a game is 2, maybe 3, but I don't think so. I think the most he's ever taken in a game is 2. So just knowing your game, knowing your role, he's going to DHO into something else, or he's going to drive to the basket. And Michigan State, which I've noticed during this game and throughout the season, kind of the evolution, realizing and playing with each other. Michigan State is doing a good job of sealing kind of that block and kind of angle by the block at the basket for Cohen to drive, because a few times in the beginning of the season, he did get called for a charge. Guys knew that he was going to be driving, so they'll slide over, just take that charge. But Michigan State, their bigs, doing a good job of kind of walling up that block to give him a lane to get to the basket to finish at the rim. So impressive game from Cohen Carr, 10 points, 4 rebounds. Jace Richardson had some really big moments, especially kind of in the first half. He was kind of the one that was getting this thing going for Michigan State when they were down 16. He was making plays, had a breakaway dunk, had a couple nice shots, just getting to the lane. Just what he does. Gets to the lane, so, intentional with every move he makes, getting to the basket, making the shots, 5 for 10 overall from the field. And finished with 11 points and 3 rebounds on the night, and then an incredible block as well. Carson Cooper off the bench, 4 points, 8 rebounds, 2 steals as well, 2 for 3 from the field. Was 0 for 2 from the free throw line, but overall, so far this season, he's been solid for the free throw line. I thought Xavier Booker in his 14 minutes was solid as well. Hit a 3, was 1 for 1 from 3, 1 for 2 overall from the field. Only had a rebound, but I thought he was solid in the role that he was playing on Saturday night. Jay Nakin's not his best game. He had 0 points in the first half, I believe. Turned it on in the second half. 8 points overall. 3 for 10 from the field. Wasn't really doing a lot off the ball though. Only 1 rebound, no assists, no steals. Did have a block. Not a good Jeremy Fears game, or Jay Nakin's game, should I say? And against Illinois the first time out as well, he did struggle as well. I think only 8 points or 7 points in that one as well. I think it was 8 points as well in the first matchup against Illinois, which they do have bigger, longer wings. But Jaden, he's always going to be solid on the defensive end, and he's going to get his buckets when Michigan State needs it. And that's what he did. Michigan State, kind of when the game was kind of in flux in the second half, Michigan State had already made their run from the first half to the beginning of the second half, and then Illinois was making their run, punching back. I think got it back to like a 6-point lead for Illinois, and then Jaden Akin's kind of just what he does. Just that's him. That's his demeanor. Calms the waters, gets to the basket, gets a shot, gets a nice off a little curl pop, curl screen, and gets to the elbow, hits a shot, free throw line, makes a shot, and that's just what he does. And Jaden Akins has been incredible doing that all year. Did that again here on Saturday night. But the man of the night, Jackson Kohler, career high 23 points, 10 rebounds, another double-double on the year for Jackson Kohler. 2 steals, a block, 9 for 13 from the field, 4 for 5 overall from 3. That is incredible. Just an absolutely incredible night from Jackson Kohler. He was making hustle plays all night like he always does. Carson Cooper had an incredible hustle play as well, jumping up, grabbing the ball near Izzo on the sideline and got hit as he was coming down, fell. Izzo fist bump. It was an incredible moment in that game. Jackson Kohler has those moments all the time, getting on the floor as well. And this was an incredible Jackson Kohler great game, incredible overall performance from Michigan State. And you really look at it by the numbers. Michigan State shooting about 10-11% better from the field, shooting about 49% in this one, and then 42% from 3 and 5 for 12. And this is kind of what I was talking about at the beginning, the success for Michigan State. I think Michigan State being successful is shooting like 9 to 12, 14 threes a game. Somewhere right in there. We've seen this is a big enough sample size that Michigan State, I feel like they have a handful of good shooters. Jaden Akins is a career good three-point shooter. I believe that Jace Richardson is a good three-point shooter. Frankie Fidler, career-wise, I believe he's a good three-point shooter. Xavier Booker, I say the same thing there. Trey Holloman. We saw a couple Kirk Hang minutes tonight. Only not 3 minutes. Didn't get a shot up. But there is solid three-point shooters on the team. Jackson Kohler, obviously, we saw tonight, Saturday night, 4 for 5. But for Michigan State, we don't, you see what happened for Illinois in this one. 7 for 33. You're not making shots. Why are you still jacking up threes? Which, don't get me wrong, I am thankful that Illinois was jacking up all these threes, but for Illinois, if I was an Illinois fan, I would be so frustrated because this was never a game where, the Michigan State's largest lead was 14. They won by 14. This was largely in the second half towards the end of the game. I get they were struggling from the field. You're struggling from the field. Get to the lane. Get to the basket. Get to the foul line. They have the length to get to the basket, get foul calls. And they were just jacking it up. And this is why Michigan State has been able to beat Illinois twice this year. I think Illinois probably has, a top 2-3 roster in the conference. And Michigan State is able to pull out 2 wins on Illinois this year. And that's why I say I think this is the success for Michigan State, shooting in that, 8 to 14 range in terms of threes. And Michigan State did not shoot, even though they are towards the top, if not the top of the Big Ten in free throw shooting. 8 for 13 on the night, 62%. But rebounding, one of the best rebounding teams in the country in Illinois, out-rebounding them 41 to 36. And then Michigan State. We always say ideal for Michigan State, staying between 8 to 12 turnovers. 7 turnovers on the night, forcing 11 for Illinois. That's a recipe for success. 40 points in the paint as well, compared to 30 for Illinois. That's a recipe for success as well. And only six fast break points for Michigan State, which is one of the staples. They are top 1-2 all year in fast break points for Michigan State, and they were held to 6 points and still able to come away with a 14-point win on the road in Champaign. Really impressive Saturday night for Michigan State. Now, it does not get easier for Michigan State the rest of the way, but as I said, this win keeps them right in the thick of things in the Big Ten regular season tournament race. They are now sitting at 11-3, recording this on Sunday after, unfortunately, Michigan did beat Ohio State at Ohio State, which, by the way, if you watch, Bruce Thornton had an incredible move, had Danny Wolf on skates and airballed a 5-foot floater that could have sent the game to overtime. But anyway, Michigan State sitting at 11-3, Michigan sitting at 12-2, Purdue right behind at 11-4, and Purdue comes into the Breslin on Tuesday, and then a short 2-day break after that, and Michigan State has to go to Michigan next Friday night, and then has to go to Maryland the following week. That won't be an easy game as well. Wisconsin, then the following Sunday at home. Not going to be easy. Wisconsin just beat Purdue at Purdue on Saturday. And then you got to go to Iowa. Never an easy place to play. And then you close it out at home on senior day against that school on the road in Michigan. So really tough slate here for Michigan State. But Michigan State has all their goals right in front of them. This was, as we said, this wasn't an elimination game. But this is a game that if you lose, you are now behind the 8 ball. You need to win your remaining big games. You need to win all your games, basically, and you need some help to get that. But now Michigan State puts themselves right there in the driver's seat. You're a game behind Michigan. You have 2 matchups against them here in the last, 2-3 weeks. You have Purdue, team that's right behind in 3rd place. You have Wisconsin, who is right there in 4th place as well. You have Maryland, again, who's a top 5-6 team in the conference as well. And then, you have a tough road matchup against Iowa mixed in there as well. So a lot of stuff to look forward to here for Michigan State and a lot of big games remaining. So anyway, that'll do it for this one. We will be back with a preview for Purdue before Tuesday's game. But anyway, that'll do it for this one. Thank you all so much for watching. We'll see you in the next one. Peace out.